The Republic of Korean Marines are the most brutal, battle-hardened fighting force on the planet. They dominated Vietnam with kill ratios as high as 24-1. They train harder, fight harder, and have a combat record that makes other special forces look soft. The Royal Marines don't even come close. Here's why that is completely wrong. In this video, I'm going to reveal statistics that most military channels won't talk about. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why this comparison is way more complicated than anyone realises. But first, which force do you think is tougher? Drop your answer in the comments right now before I change your mind. Welcome back to the war. Here is where it gets interesting. The Royal Marines have one of the longest and most brutal infantry training in the entire world. 32 weeks after ROP, and get this, between 5 to 10% of people who initially apply make it through. That's not a typo. Their selection process has a 50 to 60% attrition rate. That means 5 to 6 out of every 10 recruits who start training never earn their green beret. But wait until you hear what they have to go through. The Royal Marines have something called the 4 Commando tests. It's basically their version of Hell Week. Let me paint you a picture of what this actually looks like. There's the endurance course, 6 miles of pure hell on Dartmoor. You're carrying 30 to 40 pounds of gear. You're running through ice cold rivers, crawling through underground tunnels in freezing water, climbing obstacles, and then, when you're completely exhausted, you have to shoot accurately. Time limit? 73 minutes. Miss it by 1 minute and you fail. Then there's the 9-mile speed march. 9 miles in 90 minutes with full combat gear. That's averaging 6 miles per hour while carrying a rifle and webbing. And here's the thing, your entire squad has to stay together. If one person falls behind, everyone fails. Next, there's the Tarzan assault course, a challenging obstacle course including rope climbs, death slides, monkey bars. This test has the highest injury rate of all 4 tests because of how physically demanding it is. Upper body strength, grip strength, explosive power, all while the clock is ticking. But none of that compares to test 4, the 30 miler. 30 miles across Dartmoor, 8 hours to complete it, 40 pounds on your back, through bogs, over hills, across rivers. Most of these recruits have never covered 30 miles in their entire lives. And they're doing it after completing 3 other tests in the same week, exhausted, battered, and questioning every life decision that brought them to this moment. This is the test where the most people break. Could you do it? Seriously, 30 miles with 40 pounds in 8 hours after getting beaten down for a week? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But now, here's where it gets controversial. The Republic of Korean Marines don't have a formally documented Hell Week like this. Their training is spread throughout the programme. But don't mistake that for being easier, because what they do is absolutely insane. During the Korean Marine Exchange Programme with the US Forces, Republic of Korean Marines go through live fire combat exercises under high stress, military operations in urban terrain, chemical, biological and radiological nuclear training, mountain warfare in extreme conditions, and continuous high-intensity tactical operations with minimal rest. But get this, there was a historic Korean Marine unit in 1982 called the Hammer Unit, whose training included a 10-kilometer ROK march in 1 hour, in full combat gear, carrying 100-kilogram inflatable boat overhead. This was then followed by a 12-kilometre continuous sea swim. Their unit motto was "Kill 'em all, let God sort 'em out." So which training is harder? The Royal Marines have very selective, formalised and measured training. The numbers don't lie. But the Korean Marines train for a specific immediate threat: North Korea. Their training isn't about passing tests, it's about being ready to fight and win a war that could literally start tomorrow. What would you rather face? Comment below. The 30-miler or a 12-kilometre open ocean swim? Let us know. Let's talk about what really matters: combat effectiveness. This is where Korean Marines built their legendary reputation, and the stories are absolutely wild. Vietnam War, February 14th, 1967, the Battle of Tre Binh Dong. NVA attackers surrounded a Republic of Korean Marine position. The Marines were outnumbered, outgunned and fighting for their lives. The result? The Marines repelled the entire attack and inflicted massive casualties on the enemy. The Korean media called them the myth-making Marines. President Park Chung-hee promoted every single enlisted Marine in the unit. But here's the number that will shock you. Some Vietnam engagements, the Marines achieved a reported kill ratio as high as 24-1. 24 enemy killed for every one Korean Marine casualty. They seized more weapons than comparable US units. The Viet Cong literally feared them. Over 37,000 Republic of Korea Marines served in Vietnam. 1,207 were killed and nearly 3,000 wounded. They had the highest proportional casualty rate among Republic of Korean forces in Vietnam because they were always in the thick of the fight. Their combat style? Aggressive patrolling, close quarters combat. They even used Taekwondo and martial arts in hand-to-hand fighting. They were absolutely ruthless. But get this, the Royal Marines have 360 years of combat history. Let that sink in. 360 years. They've stormed the beaches at D-Day. They were part of the ground offensive in the Falklands War. They spent 20 years fighting in Afghanistan, the highest intensity combat they'd seen since the Falklands. From 1942 to 2009, the Royal Marines were engaged in active combat operations every single year except 1968. Every year for 67 years. They fought in every climate, every terrain, every type of warfare imaginable. Jungle, desert, Arctic, urban, mountain, amphibious, they've done it all. So who's more proven? The Republic of Korean Marines have a brutal combat record. Vietnam was savage warfare and they dominated. The Royal Marines have unmatched breadth of experience across 3.5 centuries and every continent on Earth. It's like comparing a championship boxer in his prime to a master martial artist with a lifetime of fights. Both are legitimate, both are terrifying. What do you think? Is recent combat experience more important than historical legacy? Comments now. Now let's address the elephant in the room. The Republic of Korean Marines have roughly 30,000 personnel. The Royal Marines? Nearly 6,000. That's 5 times larger, 5 times more firepower, 5 times more operational capacity. The Republic of Korean Marines are designed for large-scale conventional warfare. They can sustain massive operations, take and hold territory, and integrate with heavy armour and artillery. But wait, here's what nobody tells you. Bigger doesn't always mean better. In fact, the Royal Marines' smaller size is actually a strategic advantage for what they do. Think about it, only 6,000 people, but every single one is commando qualified. Every single one passed that selection filter. Every single one completed 32 weeks of some of the toughest training. The Royal Marines aren't designed for large-scale warfare. They're designed for surgical strikes, rapid deployment, special operations and raiding missions. They're the scalpel, not the hammer. They can deploy globally in 48 hours. They operate in 12-man teams that can function independently behind enemy lines. Size versus elite. Numbers versus quality. Scale versus precision. The Republic of Korea Marines can occupy a territory and fight a conventional war. The Royal Marines can infiltrate, eliminate high-value targets and disappear before anyone knows they were there. Which is more valuable? That depends entirely on the mission. Could 100 Royal Marines beat 500 Republic of Korea Marines in a straight fight? Or would the numbers overwhelm the training? I want to hear your tactical analysis in the comments. Here's something most people don't know. In 2023 and 2024, these two forces actually trained together. Exercise Twin Dragons in the Korean Peninsula, over 13,000 personnel. Royal Marines from 40 Commando work directly with Republic of Korea Marines in surveillance and reconnaissance missions, urban terrain operations, covert raiding deep behind enemy lines, and amphibious assault operations. 40 ships, 40 aircraft, 40 Korean amphibious assault vehicles. And you know what the commanders said after? The Korean Lieutenant Colonel said this exercise reaffirms our strong alliance and strengthens our combined defence posture. And a UK Major said the UK Commando Force is able to deploy and work with partners anywhere in the world. Translation? They were impressed with each other. But here's what this really reveals. The Republic of Korea Marines have heavier equipment and more firepower. K9 Thunder self-propelled howitzers, Spike anti-tank missiles, armoured assault vehicles, attack helicopters. The Royal Marines have lighter, more expeditionary gear, air-portable artillery, fast attack boats, specialised raiding equipment. The Republic of Korea Marines train for one specific scenario: defending South Korea from North Korean invasion. Every piece of equipment, every tactic, every drill is designed for that mission. The Royal Marines train for global expeditionary warfare. Anywhere, anytime, any mission. Arctic warfare in Norway, jungle operations in Belize, desert combat in Iraq, mountain fighting in Afghanistan. Specialisation versus versatility. Regional power versus global reach. Both are modern. Both are lethal. Both are constantly evolving. The real question is what would happen if these two forces ever faced each other. So here's the answer you've been waiting for, and I'm going to give it to you straight. There is no definitive answer, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. But here's what we can say. If you dropped 100 Royal Marines and 100 Republic of Korea Marines into a neutral battle space with equal equipment and told them to fight to the last man, the Royal Marines would likely win. Why? because every single Royal Marine is in the top tier of human physical and mental capability. Their training is specifically designed for small unit tactics and independent operation. But if you put both forces in their designed operational environment, the Republic of Korean Marines defending the Korean Peninsula, Royal Marines conducting a raid on a hostile target, both would absolutely dominate because they are optimised for different missions. The Republic of Korean Marines have recent high intense combat experience, superior numbers and conventional warfare capability, proven lethality with legendary kill ratios, and active threat maintaining razor-sharp readiness. The Royal Marines have some of the most selective training in the world, 360 years of institutional knowledge, global expeditionary capability and special operations expertise. Here's what really matters. The Republic of Korean Marines are ghost killers who achieve 24-to-1 kill ratios in Vietnam and maintain an active war footing against North Korea every single day. The Royal Marines are commando warriors who fought on every continent for 360 years and maintain standards so high that most applicants never make it. Both are legitimate. Both are elite. Both are absolutely terrifying if you're on the wrong end of their rifles. The real winners? The fact that they're now allies, training together, learning from each other, and combining their strengths in exercises. Imagine facing a combined force of Republic of Korean Marines numbers and firepower with Royal Marine Special Operations tactics. That would be unstoppable. So here's my final question for you. If you could only choose one to have your back in a firefight, which would it be? The Republic of Korean Marines, battle-tested killers with proven combat effectiveness, or the Royal Marines Commandos with 360 years of tactical evolution? Drop your answer in the comments. Defend your choice. Let's debate this. And if you learned something new today, join the Legacy Army. Who should we compare next? Let us know below. And don't forget to check out our other videos where we compare elite units. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments. And check out our merch and membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.